Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, you need a secret code to access the last 20 minutes of this episode, but you won't find it in the show notes. It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Kelly Nugent. We've got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about the news from the week, including some teases out of Gearbox and Yacht Club games, and that theme song for Fire Emblem Three Houses. And then on Thursday, Mark and I are going to be discussing Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2. But in the meantime, Kelly, how are you?
I'm doing so well.
You're
Thank
doing
you
well.
so much for asking me.
Look, you're welcome. We need to check in on each other and see how we are.
Yeah, well, because otherwise we're swept up in that fast-paced life, baby.
Oh man, such fast.
Oh.
So pace.
Yep. So how's it going with you, man?
Thank you. I'm glad you asked. I am also good.
Good.
Kelly, we got a couple things that we need to get to before we're going to dive into the show proper. First is if people want to borrow my copy of Sonic Forces, they can.
Lucky them. You're a generous man.
Thank you. I've said this over and over again. It's nice to have that reinforced.
You're welcome. Thanks for that $50 bill, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. Sonic Forces, it's on Switch. You can borrow it. All you have to do is email us with your mailing address, and I send it to you, and I pay for the postage and the return postage. It costs you nothing.
You're nuts, dude. You're freaking nuts.
You're
so nice. Oh, my gosh.
Look, I want people to play this awful game because it gets it out of my house.
Oh. I say less altruistic.
Well, yeah, but also it's fun.
Cool.
So you can email us at nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com, and I send it to you, and that's as easy as that works. A little programming note. Obviously, this is not Mark across the table from me. It's Kelly.
It's me.
You're in good hands. Kelly's very good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm very good. I'm very good at 45% of things.
That's a high percentage.
It is a pretty high percentage.
I feel like I'm good at maybe 12% of things.
No, you can project your voice well.
Thank you.
You smile at people.
This list of things I do well has to end right now.
It's depressing.
I'm so embarrassed. Mark will be back later, but Kelly's here, and we're having a great time. As I said, we are... on Thursday, we're going to be discussing Zoda's Revenge. Mark will be here for that. And then next week, we conclude our weird retro sequel month as Mark and I are talking about Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. So play along if you can. And send us your emails with your thoughts about either of those games. Were you able to play Zoda's Revenge Star Tropics 2? Probably not. It's a very late era NES game that no one has played and is not available on any virtual console. I don't know why we picked it. But share your thoughts. You can email us at nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com. And then one quick little debug before we get into the rest of the episode proper. Last week, Greg was talking about a game coming out called Rico, and he said that it looked like a game he used to play called 13. And I asked him if that was a game about the 13th Amendment, and Greg said, yeah, it needs to be patched. And then he was like, does that joke track? I want to make sure that joke tracks. And I was on board with his joke.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I get it. That the 13th Amendment is flawed and needs to be patched. Because, and this is the part that I didn't say. Okay. Because it still allows for slavery of convicts, that anyone who is in prison.
See.
So, but we kind of blew past it, and I just wanted to make sure that it didn't sound like we were saying slavery was good.
Something much more insidious.
Yes.
Yeah. No, good work on clarifying there. And that's a funny joke. Tell Greg.
Yes.
I can't tell him because he and I don't talk.
Right.
We're fighting.
Well, and I wish you would just bury that beef.
I can't.
It would help.
It keeps resurfacing. Every time I see him, he screams about the beef at me.
Right. Just at full volume.
Because you know Greg.
Right. He's a screamer. Constantly screaming.
So just tell him it was a good joke, but don't say it was from me because he won't accept it.
All right, cool. I'll just text him and say it was a good joke. All right, Kelly, let's get into what we've been playing this week.
Okay.
Kelly.
Yes.
So I continue to play Tetris 99. I don't know that I need to. I've been playing this game a ton since it came out. Sarah and I will hang out in the evenings and just hand the controller back and forth playing Tetris until, I was going to say until we get bored, but that's not even it.
Yeah.
It's like until we can't keep looking at blocks falling from the top of the TV. But I continue to play it, and I have no new updates. Every now and then one of us wins one, and it's very exciting.
Cool.
I think total we're up to 17 wins at this point.
Okay. Wow.
Which I feel very good about.
Good for you.
Thank you. What have you been playing?
I am playing. I actually just finished it this morning. The first playthrough. Red Strings Club. I don't know if do you know about this game?
So Greg brought it up last week, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he have to say about it?
Well, I think he was just like looking at trailers and was like, "Whoa, this looks like a cool sort of like cyberpunk adventure game."
Mm-hmm.
Is that basically where like you're working in a bar?
So it's a couple things.
Yeah, lay it on me.
You are. It is cyberpunk, and it's I assume in the future. You are sometimes playing as an android and sometimes playing as a bartender and sometimes playing as like the bartender's I don't think they're married boyfriend who it has like implants that make him
Sure.
like
Some sort of
cybernetic guy.
We both just had to race for
cybernetic. And it's pretty cool. It's a really cool future where the game understands that like gender and sexuality are fluid, and so like there's just like it's pretty cool. There is a moment where one of the clues you're supposed to find is someone's dead name, which is weird. I think
great.
Here's what I think that the game is trying to do.
Yeah.
I think the game is trying to tell the audience we have a trans character.
Right.
But is doing it in a very fumbly way and already has told us because we talk about their like gender recalibration. So I feel like we don't need that. It just seems a little like garish, if that makes sense. Like it just seems a little bit tone deaf, but the game is like otherwise I think really progressive and cool, and like the music is A+, and you're just kind of trying to figure out like this nefarious company is like making people complacent, and it's really interesting. Like you at the beginning you play as this android and you're like creating these modules that you put inside of people for every problem they have. They'll come in and be like, I have this problem. And you have to keep fixing their problems. And it ended up being that, like, everyone, I either turned them into a husk that didn't care about anything.
Oh, Jesus.
Or, like, someone that didn't care about any kind of social mores and, like, was fine with that.
Whoa, so you're either, like, demolishing their inhibitions or, like, demolishing their soul, kind of?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that's just, like, a little tiny thing you do at the beginning that kind of, like, sets the tone for the rest of the story, and the rest of the story is really good, and the ending was really sad but sweet. But you have to make some kind of like messed up decisions.
Yeah.
And I like, spoiler alert, I guess. I if you don't want to hear this, like track forward 15 seconds. At the end, my character is dying and has to decide with his dying breath to either tell his partner that he loves him more than anything in the world, or tell him this like secret about like the underlying nefarious purposes of this company. And I freaked out, and
what did you do?
I picked like tell him the secret rather than say I love you, which is really up. I know. Oh, messed up. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have cursed.
Oh, well, that's okay. That is messed up.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do, though?
Look,
you can play it again.
Yeah, and, you know, that your partner knows that you love them.
Yeah.
Right? So
I think he knew, because I've said it before. Oh, I don't know if I ever said it before.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I don't know if I've said it before, but It is I thought it was a really fun game.
Yeah.
You can do it in like you can do your first playthrough in like I don't know. I did it in like 2 sittings.
Sure. So just like a couple hours, like 3 or 4 hours, something like that.
Yeah, I would say it's a 3 or 4 hour game.
That is awesome.
It's cool, and it's more like point and clicky, and
yeah,
but it's cool.
Also taking about 3 or 4 hours, I played the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker special episode,
Okay.
which is a series of 18 new levels for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which Captain Toad is just, it's Toad. He's walking around on a little like diorama style map that you can like rotate the camera all around, and you are collecting gems and stars. But in the special episode, it is not stars you're after, but a crown. There is a crown in every episode, in every little level. And the game recently got co-op support so that you can have just 2 little Toads walking around.
Cool.
And in the special episode, one of you is Captain Toad, and the other one is Toadette. And so it's just like the cutest thing. These 2 little Toads like walking around, and all the new puzzles are really great and really strong. There's one that Sarah and I were like shouting at each other about, because like it's like a big maze that's up on, it's like a wheel that is a maze, and so you like shoot yourself into the middle of it, and then where you walk within the maze like kind of makes the whole thing rotate.
Oh man.
So like there's a lot of just like sort of mind-bending like space like puzzle relationship sort of things. But it was super fun, and you know, like I said, it only took us a couple hours to get through it. But it was $6, you know,
nice.
a $6 add-on to Captain Toad. If you have Captain Toad, like go for it. This thing is totally worth your time, especially if you've got someone else to play with. One word of warning about playing with 2 people. You know, Captain Toad is so much about controlling the camera and like seeing. You have to really like move the camera down. Everything is manual, right? Like the camera will not do anything on its own.
Wow. Okay.
But both players have total control over the camera.
No. Oh no. Okay.
So this is more that screaming that we were talking about. If we were playing it with Greg Smith, he would never let it go.
He would never let it go.
But so that was great. I fully endorse it. I also got out Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U and played it for a little while because I started to get excited about the new Yoshi game that's coming out at the end of the month, Crafted World. And I just wanted to like be reminded why I had fun with Woolly World in the first place.
Yeah.
And you know, those games get a lot of like criticism for being too easy.
I roll.
Because first of all, easy is great.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to have fun and turn off your brain.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to see wonderful colors and hear Yoshis sing at you.
Yeah, very cute.
Very cute. But there are also levels in this game that are like nightmarishly hard. There was one I couldn't even get to the end of. It was so hard.
Oh my God.
It's a special level at the end of World 3 where like the whole gimmick of the level is there's a bullet bill that's like flying past, and he leaves a little like trail of smoke behind him that eventually dissipates, and you have to get through the whole level just riding on his trail of smoke.
Oh man.
And so like all these things are coming at you, and if you like, you know, land on it wrong, you fall through the smoke. It's like
very bad.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, very bad.
It was so hard. So, anyone that's like, those Yoshi games are for babies, find the levels that aren't for babies and like toughen up and get through them, because like the game offers you anything. It offers you the very easy, have a nice time levels, and offers you the like sincere challenge.
There's something for the whole family.
It's all there. I've also been playing a little bit of Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation 4. It is scary.
I wanna play it.
It's good.
Fun? I heard it's really, really good.
It's really, really good. I'm a ridiculously big fan of the original. That is maybe one of like the first games that I was like truly obsessed with, where I just like played it and played it and played it and played it and played it. And if there were like trophies or achievements at the time, I would have gotten all of them, you know. But as this was just a regular PlayStation thing, all of my accomplishments are lost to the ages.
Dude, so how did it feel playing it? I love a remaster of a really good game. I will throw my money at a remaster of a really good game.
Yeah. Well, and that's what it was. It felt like, you know, I have all these memories of playing it as a 14-year-old, whatever. And playing the remaster felt like that again.
Cool.
You know, like they made it look like I thought it looked back in the day, which is just incredible. It's been super fun. My buddy Pete actually bought it for me.
Oh, how nice. Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Pete, because I was holding out. I was like, it'll get a price drop pretty soon. And he and I were texting, and he was like, I don't like living in a world where you're not playing this game.
Yeah.
And he bought it for me, so that was very sweet.
Is this a person that is friends with you from when you were younger?
Yes, yeah. This
that's
is
nice.
my good friend Pete.
Aw.
Yeah, so that was very nice, and I think about it a lot and want to get back to it.
That's really cool. I think I'm going to play it. Is it scary? Are you scared? Do you get scared?
I do get scared, yeah.
Yeah.
There is a character, a monster, whatever, that appears halfway through basically all of the scenarios, whose name is Mr. X. And he's just like an 8-foot tall man in a trench coat.
I've seen playthroughs in that
Yeah.
part. Oh, scary.
And he'll just, so much of the game is like, you get to a safe space and you're like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I've closed the door. That's fine. Mr. X, he doesn't care. He just like barges in through the door.
Oh, no, very bad.
He'll chase you everywhere. It's a nightmare. Kelly, I hear you've been playing Mass Effect.
Yeah. So I had originally, I remember pre-ordering Mass Effect Andromeda, best edition I could get. Played it immediately when it came out, and I think it was perhaps because I had held the Mass Effect trilogy in such high regard, and it still is to me one of my most important favorite games. So I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this, and I know it's going to be all new characters. I understand that. Like, I loved Dragon Age Inquisition, even though it's different characters from
right,
and it's the same. It's BioWare, so I was like, oh, I'm sure it'll be great. There were a lot of things about it that, like, because I had, in anticipation for the game, I replayed the trilogy. There are some battle mechanics that are extremely like, why would you do this? Like, so you used to be able to like mid battle, like, tell your team what you wanted them to do. You can't do that anymore. You can't equip certain guns or certain outfits to different people.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So I was like, I was really turned off by the game, and I didn't really like any of the people as a romance option.
You gotta have good romance options.
You gotta have good romance options. So I started playing it right when it came out, and I was like, I can't make myself finish this game.
Yeah. Well, it was a little bit busted too, right?
It was pretty busted.
Yeah.
It was pretty busted. And then so I don't know if they've like released updates or something that has made it better, but I started playing it again, and I was like, actually, you know what? It isn't that whack. It was like, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
At all by any, like, it's not even my favorite, like, of like list of games, it's like pretty low.
Yeah.
But I still am playing it, and I have a decent time. Perhaps more embarrassingly, one of the games that I'm playing right now is this mobile game called Homescapes. I don't know if
what
you
happens
know
in
this game.
Homescapes.
Okay.
I don't know it.
The premise is wackadoodle. You are a grown-up butler man. You decide to retire from your job, and you move home to the mansion that your parents own.
No.
Yeah, and you move in with your parents. And the whole thing is not embarrassed about this. So you move home to your parents, and they're like, we got to sell the house. And you're like, mother, father, let me fix all these different things in the house. So you do all these little like puzzles where you switch around. It's kind of like Candy Crush-ish.
Yeah, sure.
So
okay.
it's like that, but then you collect coins so that way you can buy upgrades for your parents at their house.
This is
Homescapes.
Wow.
And also, like, I know that this is a visual situation.
Are you getting alerts from Homescapes on your phone?
No, I just wanted to show you what
yes,
Austin, who is the character you play as, looks like.
Austin is not a name that I would pick for a butler, like
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
Okay, let me see if I can pull up a picture of him. Oh, I just got a daily bonus opening this up. Nice.
Yeah, you
Okay,
did.
let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, this is my friend. This is a guy, an old man with a visor.
Oh,
He gives me rewards.
yeah, he does.
So, okay, I just need to zoom in on Austin so you can see him. So this is Austin.
Oh my gosh. Austin has a big bushy mustache and like two other mustaches above his eyes.
Yeah, above his eyes. And
where
then
his eyebrows should be.
a bow tie and a white shirt and suspenders and then like jeans and dress shoes.
Yeah, that's very confusing.
No, and it like the whole story is like kind of weird. It's just like, so look at my parents' house. Look at that. I've got some statues.
Yo, their place looks great.
It looks really good, right? And then here's my bedroom.
I like that you've got this yellow like reading chair right in the middle of the room.
I designed that.
Also, there you go. Homescapes.
Yeah, Homescapes. Try that out, guys.
All right, that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get into the new releases and what we might be playing next week. Not a ton coming out this week. On Wednesday, March 20th, Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon Everybody is coming out. That's one of the Final Fantasy games that Square is bringing over to the Switch. I've never actually played any of the Chocobo Mystery Dungeon games. There was a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game that I played on the DS, which was at least a medium level of fun. Are you familiar with the Mystery Dungeon format?
So I only know of it because I watched this trailer.
Sure.
And so I was like, oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Now you're just kind of running around.
Yeah, you're just in a dungeon that's like a grid kind of.
It's like a series of hallways.
Yeah, that is 100% correct. And then you're just running characters into each other and they fight.
Yeah.
So this is might be one of those more just experiential kind of games where if you're looking for a real challenge or something super strategic, maybe this isn't it. But just as something to waste some time with. Seems kind of cool.
It looks cute.
Yeah.
Chocobo looks cute.
Hey, look, chocobos are great.
Yeah.
They're giant bird things.
And then you get to have a buddy with you. You get to unlock people and have them fight with you. That's fun.
Yeah. I'm not going to get this, but
I will probably not either. I'm too busy with Homescapes.
Yeah, you got to help Austin.
I got to help Austin get his parents' house together.
And then on Friday, March 22nd, Unravel 2 is coming out, which is that EA game where you control little yarny people. People who are made of yarn, and it's like a puzzle platforming kind of thing. And it is another co-op game. And it looks kind of cool.
It does look really cool.
Those kinds of games are right in my wheelhouse. And if I can convince Sarah to play it with me, then yeah, we'll totally play it.
Well, this is totally a home run. I think she'll want to play it. It's very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And it also from the trailer I was watching, the co-op aspect of it seems very seamless.
Yes.
And it seems also very cool. It's not there's one that's kind of the main one, and then this other one that just kind of hovers. It's they're both very active and can take a leadership role.
And they
or not leadership, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, they can both take charge.
Yeah.
And they have a piece of yarn between them, and so they can use that to swing each other around or affect momentum. It feels like it's got a real physics engine behind it. It seems pretty cool.
It does seem really cool.
Okay, those are the new releases. Let's close that out. Now it's time for a regular segment on our show. It's time for 433. In 1952, American composer John Cage wrote a piece called 433, wherein a performer or group of performers didn't play their instruments for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. For the purposes of this show, our instruments are talking about Nintendo. So, for the duration of one performance of 433, Kelly and I will talk about something not at all Nintendo related, thus fulfilling the contract of the piece. Kelly, Mark has provided us with some conversation topics.
I see this.
And we've got 2 left now. You get to choose one. And then you can read it and we can discuss.
Okay.
What's going through your mind right now? You're looking at both envelopes.
I like how you wrote the top of the 3s for this one, so I'm going to do this one.
Perfect.
Okay. Do I open it and read it?
Yeah, open it and read it.
If forced to live the events, what horror movie franchise would you have the best chance of surviving? Is this your handwriting?
Yeah, that is my handwriting.
Really nice. Really
Thank
nice,
you.
Patrick. Won't help you in a horror movie.
No. What horror movie franchise?
Okay.
Right, so you can't just be a one-off.
I think for me, it might be the Jason movies.
Why do you think you would be able to survive the Jason movies?
Because I feel like I know that Jason is pretty unstoppable and really hard to kill.
Yeah.
And it's scary because he moves very slowly and just is just this unstoppable behemoth. That being said, I feel like a lot of people in these movies are just not paying attention to their surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
I am always scanning.
That's right.
Also, when I feel threatened, my first thing, my jump to is go on the offensive, make him scared of me. And I know it doesn't get scared.
How are you going to make Jason scared of
I'm
you?
going to act crazy. I'm going to act so crazy.
He's just going to be
he's gonna
I can't even deal.
You're too much. He would turn his back, and that's where his problem would be. Because if you turn your back on me, I'll be there. I will.
So you're gonna murder Jason.
Jason.
You're gonna stab him with like a big knife
Yes, and then I'm gonna take his mask and put it on.
and become Jason.
Yes,
Kelly,
I'm the next
does
Jason.
that constitute survival?
It's surviving. Yes, it is.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, because my like go-to answer was going to be Scream. That,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I feel like within Scream, one of the big things about Scream is that like it knows it's a horror movie. Everyone in it knows that it's a horror movie, and I feel like both of us would be familiar with what's going on. Right? We'd be like, I got it. I understand the rules of this. But is that actually a strength within Scream, or is that a liability?
Well, I think the thing that's scary about Scream is that I think the stakes are higher then, and like the tricks are going to be scarier because everyone knows. I also wonder, are you shooting yourself in the foot because No Face is different, or not No Face? What is it? The Scream Ghostface.
The Ghostface, yes.
No Face is
No Face
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. He offers you coins.
Yeah, Ghostface is a different person a lot of times.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
More unpredictable than, like, let's say a Freddy movie. I mean, that's the thing. Freddy's magic. You can't mess with that.
Oh,
I mean, Jason's kind of magic too sometimes.
Yeah,
but
Jason is kind of
towards
magic.
the end, he gets a little more magic.
He gets way too magic, and even when he's not magic, he has like the magical ability to just be anywhere.
Yeah, and he's also a zombie. It's like kind of messed.
it's like kind of
It's like kind of messed. Okay, what were you gonna say?
When you said Freddy, that made me think, oh, Friday the 13th, because I dream so little. Like
Are you?
I don't. I think that
no, that Friday the 13th is Jason.
Oh, sorry.
Nightmare on
yes,
Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, that's what I meant.
Interesting. So you
that
think
I
he just couldn't get in?
Yeah, because there's no dream
Knock,
door
knock,
into
no
my
one's
brain.
home.
Right. That like he sees me go to sleep and he's like,
Interesting.
I'm gonna get him now, and I just don't have a dream.
Here's what I think is gonna happen.
Tell me what you think is gonna happen.
If you were in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, I think you would start for some reason being really into spicy food. You don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Spicy food gives you weird dreams.
Oh.
So that's the problem.
But so
Jalapeno pizza.
people start dying in their dreams,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't stop eating this jalapeno.
Yeah. I think something would push you to, or you start eating a lot of cheese. You know, like something would push you
to start
to
having
start
weird
having
dreams.
these weird dreams.
Do you think there's a horror movie franchise where you would fare like exceptionally poorly?
I probably Nightmare on Elm Street for me because I dream all the time and I always remember my dreams.
Yeah.
So like they're
so
always
Freddy's
very
getting
vivid.
you right away.
Freddy's like he's probably here now.
Yeah.
Like he will destroy
I didn't
me.
want to say anything,
Yeah.
but there is someone standing behind you right
behind
now, wearing like knife gloves. It's a real problem.
Yeah.
I think I would. I don't know if it counts as a horror movie franchise, but Predator. Predator would get me right away because, like everyone else in, especially the original Predator, those are all like combat. Like those are.
Oh
people,
yeah, they're already above you.
They're already way above me. I'm gonna get like accidentally flexed
Also,
to
he
death
has
by
a-
Carl Weathers.
He has
you
a
know?
gun.
Yeah.
Like the Predator has a gun. Like
Oh well, I guess
that's it.
I guess we'll never know the end of that.
We'll never know.
We were accompanied today by the GVSU New Music Ensemble. All right, Kelly, let's get into the news. This is some breaking news that just popped up as you were driving over here, Kelly.
Really?
Yes, a Nintendo Switch Nindies Showcase has been announced for this Wednesday, March 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. The presentation,
Interesting.
yes, the presentation will be 30 minutes long, and it'll be, Nintendo's opportunity to show off some new indie games coming to Switch.
Cool.
It is also the first presentation since Damon Baker left Nintendo. Previously, he was the host of these things and was sort of like in charge of Nintendo's relationship with independent developers. So we'll get not only a look at some new games, but sort of a, flavor of what that's going to look like in the future.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, I don't have any specific hopes or desires for this one.
Maybe like just because I love games like this that
Yes.
I just played Red Strings Club and I really liked Thimbleweed Park. Like I would like more just those like really like mood intensive
Yes.
like mystery games. I love those.
Mood intensive mystery games, bring them all to the Switch.
Yeah.
And announce them on Wednesday.
Please.
If you've been playing Star Tropics on the NES Nintendo Switch Online, you may have noticed that there's a puzzle in the game that has no clues in it whatsoever to help you solve it. So this is a thing that is part of the original game, where as you leave Chapter 4, you need to enter a code, like a frequency, into the radio so you can continue on with the game. And in the original game, you got this by dipping a letter, a physical letter that came in the box, into water. And then it was
Really?
written. Yeah, it was written in
Cool.
invisible ink. So it was a fake letter from like your uncle, who you're like rescuing throughout the course of the game. It was so cool.
That's really cool.
But like when you put it out digitally, you gotta include that info somewhere.
Yeah.
But we're including it here. The code is 747. So just go ahead and now you can proceed on to Chapter 5.
There you go.
But also just look it up on the internet.
I do that a lot.
This is one of those things where it's like, yeah, Nintendo, why didn't you think of that? But also like, you can just look it up.
Google, very easy.
Google, and it's not like it changes,
No,
from like playthrough to playthrough.
Yeah.
And then here's another kind of cool thing from the Nintendo Switch Online games that were added last week. One of the SP games, so like the special versions of the game, is Zelda 2, which Mark and I talked about 2 weeks ago on our weird retro sequels month. And that game is difficult and could use some things to just make it go down a little bit smoother. And the SP version of it starts you maxed out level. So you're level 8 life, level 8 magic, level 8 attack, which there's still a lot to unpack in that game and a lot of really challenging things to get through. But just starting at max level for everything will make that game playable, will make it fun.
That's cool. That sounds fun.
Yeah. So if you have been holding off on listening to our episode about it because you're like, I don't want to play along because that game's going to be too hard. Now you've got no excuse.
Do it.
Do it. With PAX East coming up at the end of the month, Shovel Knight developer Yacht Club Games announced that it will be bringing both the new game modes King of Cards and Shovel Knight Showdown to the event, but they also teased something new.
Whoa.
They shared this just on their Twitter. It is a 16-bit, maybe 8-bit, it's kind of hard to say, animated GIF of a like ninja standing amongst like some ruins.
It's really beautiful.
It's really, really pretty. And they say that it is an all-new addition to the Yacht Club Games publisher catalog, which means it's maybe not a game that they developed, but certainly one that they are putting out. So we'll find out more about that at the end of the month.
Nice.
Are you familiar with Shovel Knight or the Yacht Club games at all? It's a cool game. It's a game that I really like.
Nice, dude.
Is a little knight. He's got a shovel. He jumps on people's heads with the shovel like it's a pogo stick.
Oh my god.
And it's a delight. It's a like retro throwback that plays like old games while being very much new and good. So I trust these guys, and I very much look forward to whatever they put out next. More news being teased ahead of PAX East. Gearbox, the publisher of Borderlands and the Borderlands series, shared a pixelated screenshot on their official Twitter account as like something that they're teasing. But fans were like, "Yo, that's Borderlands 2. We know that screenshot. Are we getting a port? So we think maybe it's coming to Switch."
Interesting. I would play it.
Are you a Borderlands girl?
I like Borderlands. It's fun. I actually have only played Borderlands 2.
Yeah. I've only played the first one, and that like just as like a friend of mine was playing it, and I just jumped in, and which is really cool that like the game lets you do that kind of like jump in co-op, and just like run around getting guns.
Yeah, just collecting stuff.
Yeah,
it's fun. Yeah, so I mean that's cool. I would play that.
So again, this is another one that just like the Shovel Knight developer, we will maybe find out more at the end of the month. Nintendo of America's Twitter account has shared the theme song to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Kelly.
What?
Have you had an opportunity to listen to this thing? Okay.
No.
Okay. So where do you stand on like video game songs?
Okay.
Yeah, lay it on me.
I love a video game soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I detest a video game song.
Look, this is exactly what we're going into, and I'm right there with you, where I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried. We're all worried.
We're going to listen to this thing, and, we'll see how long we can deal with it.
Reach for my hand,
Kelly's shaking her head.
Not interested.
I mean, it sounds like, like an anime theme song.
It sounds like a Netflix-made anime theme song.
Whoa.
I know I'm being rough right now. But, like, because there are some good anime theme songs. I think the Cowboy Bebop theme song is really good.
Yeah, it's dope.
This is not. It's just very, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, the melody's a little too meandering for me.
Mm-hmm. But it's also, like...
It's unfocused. It feels very...
I don't know what to do with, because this is for Fire Emblem, right? So it's like a medieval, like, fantasy role-playing combat game, and it's got strings and stuff, but it feels a little too like techno-y for me.
It feels a little MIDI. I look to you like a red rose. Yeah.
All right.
Here's the thing. Everyone involved with that, good for you,
Great
man.
job.
Great job,
guys.
You worked really hard. That sounds like you were in the studio.
I mean, it sounds like everyone's having fun.
Sounds like you're having fun. It's very, like, whimsical, I guess.
We just said it sounds like everyone's having fun.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It sounds like people are cashing checks.
It sounds also like if I were contracted to be the vocalist for this,
mm-hmm.
I imagine...
And I pray that someday you are.
Thanks. I imagine that I would be confused about how I'm supposed to be feeling while singing this song.
Totally.
And I suspect that what is this called? Maybe like do they have a director for this? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was perhaps not clear.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just assume, I don't know. Because it does to me it sounds, on all fronts, like a confused song.
Yeah. I mean, because it sounds like maybe it wants to be anthemic, right? Like, it wants you to be, like, fist in the air, being like, yeah, let's get them.
But it's so small. Doesn't it feel very small?
It does feel very small.
It feels like very talented, like, students at, like, a showcase. Like, they traveled from their high school to,
mm-hmm.
like, the Mall of America to perform. And you hear it, and you're like, wow, they're good.
Right, but then you, like, walk away, and you're like, okay, let's ride something at Camp Snoopy. And, like, it's done.
And then it's done.
And you don't have to experience it anymore.
Yeah.
Plus, you're at the Mall of America, like...
You got shopping to do.
you got to get a new pair of jeans.
And you got to get an A&W burger. That's what I ate last time I was there.
Mall of America.
It's so big.
It's so big. Is
big.
it still the largest
No.
mall? No. What
No.
happened to it? Who
Got
trounced
smaller.
it?
It's been shrinking.
No, that can't
Every
be
year
true.
it shrinks-
That can't
it
be true.
shrinks
There was
by
just
5
another
feet.
big mall and it shrunk smaller than it.
Oh, no, just other malls got bigger.
The next Pokemon Funko Pop has been announced. It's a Charmander.
Cute.
So this joins the already existing Pikachu and Bulbasaur. This is probably the last time I'm going to talk about Funko Pops on this show. We had mentioned the first two when they came out, just because it seemed like an exciting new thing that Funko is doing. And now it's reached a threshold where it's becoming normal.
Oh, yeah, it's just going to be, what are you going to be doing every week? You're going to talk about, like, 8 new Funkos?
Here's the thing. My interest in Funko is super low.
Mine as well. Mine is extremely low.
You and I, Kelly, we were at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, I was actually just going to bring this up.
That's right. And
Where is yours?
So the one that I had, it's a good question. I don't know. I thought it would maybe be over on my bookshelf, but it is not there.
We received a limited edition SDCC exclusive Conan as Ant-Man and Wasp.
Conan O'Brien as Ant-Man and Wasp.
I'll tell you, I sold mine.
You sold yours?
On eBay.
What'd you get for it?
$60.
Whoa!
Do it, girl. Sell it.
I am so good at $60.
Yeah, 60 big ones.
Wow. Maybe I like Funko now.
Oh my god, you're so dumb.
I'm so dumb.
You're so dumb.
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple others just kind of like walking the floor, and we bought these like big dumb egg things because we thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
It was not.
It was not fun. It was like really depressing.
Yeah, it was really depressing. It included two, right?
Yeah.
2 Funkos, and we ended up giving those away to our friends who were making a music video about like getting swag at San Diego.
Swag that you don't want.
Swag that you don't want. And some of that is Funkos.
Some of that's Funkos. I don't want to disparage anybody that enjoys Funkos. I like find your joy.
Absolutely.
They're just not for me.
And they are similarly not for me. The thing is, I feel like they should be, right?
That's the thing, they should be, but I don't think they're cute.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
The heads are too big in comparison to the body. I think and the squareness. I don't enjoy the squareness of the head.
Yeah.
They're just, and I like cute things. They're not cute to me.
There's also something about and I haven't examined this, so if I'm about to say something terrible, I apologize. I don't like that it is like omnivorous in its pop culture diet. That there are Funkos of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seems too generic to me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want it to be more, I want them to be like, no, we just do blank.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's like, it's Pokemon and it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer and it's...
I mean, like Gossip Girl. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
but
probably.
But and then for those, I'm like even less interested for the ones that are just like people in clothes.
Yeah, no, those are confusing.
Because I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's like, this is just like, I love Lost, but like Jack Shepherd, like it's just a dude in a suit.
Yeah.
Like what are we doing here?
It could be like a bunch of things.
It could be a bunch of things.
I don't know. They're just not for me, but if you like them, cool.
Dark Horse is publishing a Art of Super Mario Odyssey book in the West on October 22nd. This book has been out in Japan since last September. It is a 368-page hardcover book that includes, quote, concept art, preliminary sketches, and notes from the development team, plus insight into some early ideas that didn't make it into the game itself.
That's the day after my birthday. Do not get that from me.
You got it. Here's the thing. It's a $50 book.
Oh, that's $10 less than a Funko Pop. No way.
Last May, we talked about the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze website, which had a little like mini game in it where you can find the letters KONG on the website, and then you get some My Nintendo Platinum points, which you can then spend on, like discounts on games or whatever. The Yoshi's Crafted World website is playing a similar game.
Oh, are you excited?
Here's the thing. I already did it.
Oh, did you get him?
Yeah.
What did it spell? Yoshi?
No, so it's not even letters
Kong.
this time. This time you're chasing after little Poochie pups.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like little Poochie puppies.
Cute. Poochie pups are cute.
There are 3 of them, and you collect them and you get 150 platinum points, which is, almost enough to get 20% off of some 3DS game or whatever.
There you go.
The rewards right now are kind of a bummer. So I did go through and find all the Poochie pups. It took me like 2 or 3 minutes. And then I was like, cool, I'm going to go spend these on something. And there wasn't anything that I was even like halfway interested in.
Great.
So,
keep those for another day.
Keep those. Yes. I'll just bank those platinum points. I'm rolling in platinum points. And finally, the results of this weekend's Splatfest are in. Wizards won out over Knights 2-1. Wizards were twice as popular as the Knights. A 62.68% to 37.32%. And then they won more of the normal matches and lost more of the pro matches. Kelly, I got to know where you stand on Knights versus Wizards.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Look.
You could be talking like...
Look.
Okay, I like Wizards because they're magic.
This is actually it.
Really?
So the way that these Splatfests work, it's just in Splatoon 2.
Okay.
Right? People just pick which team they like more. So
seriously?
Yeah.
So just based off of the name?
Just based off of whatever. Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
So like which one is better? No metric.
No metric. And
Wizards.
That's right. And 62% of people, almost 63%, said Wizards.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Look.
Knights are boring. Nobody wants Paladin. Paladins are actually fun to play.
Paladins are fun to play. Greg and I talked about this last week.
Really?
That like a wizard is, well, because, we had to talk about that the Splatfest was coming up. And he said, no question, wizard.
Yeah, I mean, wizard.
Wizards do magic.
It's true.
It's hard to argue with.
I know.
Might it be nicer to like have a friend who is a knight? Maybe.
Sure. I mean, what, so that they die first?
Eh.
It's like they don't have magic.
I feel like if you're friends with a wizard, like you have to be prepared to be tricked at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
No, and also like their voices, because like, oh, wizards talk like this. And
Every single one.
Yeah, and it's like so annoying.
If you are interested in trying out Splatoon 2, but haven't to this point, there is a free demo period that you can play the game for free. Starts on March 19th at 7 a.m. So that's today when this episode comes out, and runs through Monday, March 25th at also at 7 a.m. You will need Switch Online, the online service, in order to play it. But it's a free week of Splatoon 2 if you're interested in trying it out.
That's cool.
And then the game is also 20% off during that whole period, and for a couple days after. So
in case you try it and you get hooked.
Yeah, you get hooked and then you just need that sweet fix. Kelly, have you ever played Splatoon 2?
No. Are
you going to try it out now that it is free for a week? You don't have to say yes.
I probably will not. Depending on what I got going on.
Sometimes you got too much going on.
Maybe I'll find someone that I like to romance in Mass Effect, and then at that point, I'll bet
everything else goes out the window.
Yeah, but it looks like no. So maybe I will play it.
All right, great. Kelly, let's get out of the news. All right, that is going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society.
Wow.
Kelly, thank you
Yes?
so much for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me on. It was really fun.
It was super fun. I'm glad to have heard more about Homescapes.
And Austin the Butler. It's so embarrassing that I play that game.
I mean, it looked way better than I was expecting it to. Like when you pulled it up,
Yeah.
I was like, this game, like, they
It's
spent
like
some time
rendered
on this.
pretty nicely. It looks kind of good.
Kelly, is there anything that you would like to plug at this point?
Yes. You can find me on the internet, on Twitter and Instagram at Kelly Nugent, KELLYNUGEE. You can also listen to me talk about YA pulp fiction on my podcast Teen Creeps. We talk about R.L. Stine, Lois Duncan, Christopher Pike, all those books that you remember from the 80s and 90s, those like, very glossy neon books. Patrick has been on the show many times. He's a fan favorite. People love him.
Yay! People love me?
People love you.
Yes.
You're our Lois Duncan extraordinaire.
Low Dunk,
as those who know the show know. You can also listen to me, Patrick, Ryan Mogi, and Colin J. Morris talk about shipping everything with everything on Same Day Shipping, which is another podcast. It's we get silly, nasty, mostly me, and
I like it when we get gross.
I like it
on
too.
Same Day Shipping.
I like it too, and like it's worth it for. I think like I should like just quickly take a picture of Ryan's face when we're getting nasty, because she does like the judgment and shock and betrayal.
It's all at once.
There. It's very good.
It's so fast. Oh man, Same Day Shipping's a great show.
It's great. You guys should check it out.
If you're nasty.
If you're nasty.
Also, Teen Creeps is a great show. I didn't say that, but it is.
Oh, thank you.
It's a very good show. Mark has also been on it.
Yes, he has been on it.
So
we talked about the Titanic book.
That's right.
The romance that took, and everybody survived.
Of course, everyone survived. It's a romance. Remember, if you like the show, please rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. If you can share it anywhere, that's great. However you share things, we appreciate it. On Twitter, I'm at Patrick_Ellers. Kelly is at Kelly Nugent. Mark is at MKE Mitchell, and the show is at Nin Cart Society. We're also on Facebook. You can just find that by looking for Nintendo Cartridge Society on Facebook. Olivia Duncan made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Kelly Nugent, this is Patrick Ellers saying thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Campfire.